Yeah, good afternoon. Check your mail and take that PDF file. Is my audio is audible over there? Is my voice is reaching you? Prabal and Satvik Chandran.
Yes, sir.
Good. You download that lecture notes today. So your timing is 12:30 to 1:30. There is no change in the time, no?
No, sir, 12:40 to 1:30.
1:30. Time changed, huh?
Yes, sir,
Okay, yesterday.
12:40 to 1:30.
Okay. With 10 minutes, we can let them to join. Actually, every day we are doing the same mode. 12:40 onwards, we are starting. Now it's provided for attendance point of view. Yeah, 12:42. We joined, only 4 members joined. So this grace period is given for the purpose of joining. Let them to come and join. And have you opened that PDF file? Yeah, we can start the presentation. So all the available 8 members, are you ready? Should we start? So this is our planned activity while creating the project. I hope available members, are you listening now? 8 members: Abhinav Sharma, Abhinav Thakur, Abhishek, Anurag Patel, Nitesh Katwal, Prabal Raizada, Shubham Trivedi, Tushar Shegar. Chat messages. Yes, we can see that. That's the first activity while creating the project. These two files will be created, and in which make a design as 2 buttons you place. Show second activity and show third activity. The corresponding buttons ID you provide. These two are involving in manipulation. Then these two are information display. That's the top we are placing, in the sense it's not showing. That's why these two information display is placed in the bottom. 3 activities demo app. In this, you are in the first activity. Under this, you provide the ID value SA and show this ID value as this thing, TA. In next, you are inserting by going to the layout folder, right click, new activity, under which empty activity you are inserting. While creating that, you give the activity name as underscore second. If you are providing like this, second activity.java, this file also renamed. These two files will be in existence. Under this second activity, logic wise, you place 2 buttons, show the first activity and show third activity, except the second activity. And information display as second activity is in display. This is provided here. So likewise, you design the second file. And the same mode, you insert the third activity file. While creation, it will insert the Java file also, in which show the first activity and show the second activity and place this third activity in display. For these 2 buttons are involving appropriately for this particular XML, you give the XML IDs on here. It's a activity specific. There is no conflict will arise. What same name can also be used here. Accordingly, you provide the ID values. While you are inserting these two files, while creation of this project, this activity information will be available. And these two are created when you are inserting the new activity files automatically. Dot second activity and dot third activity. The name of the activity is in such a way and it will be made as true and it will be available for you automatically inserted in the manifest file. The string values what you are specifying using GUI mode also you can insert, unless here come to the strings.xml file and provide the name what your hard coded text cannot be used. So instead of that, you are defining a string constant and its corresponding value you are providing in it. How many of the members join now? 19 members joined. Hope everyone have the PDF file for the view. I come to the lecture notes. So only two code blocks and one method inserting new activities on the created new project that you clearly know how to provide the name and how that created, where it is created. If one activity is inserted, the layout file will have one more XML file on your specified name. And additionally, the corresponding Java file also be created. That's the second activity. Automatically it's done. Along with in Android manifest file, the necessary tag information, the activity what you inserted for which auto coding will be happened. These three are happening. That's a new learning method under this. The code blocks, one is a toast already we saw, revisiting again when we are switching, that's an event trigger. When we are triggering an event, when the activity moves using the message display, using the toast widget here, informing the user what happens in it. For example, from the first activity, you are moving to the second activity. Moving to the second activity, exiting the first activity. Thank you. This is the message information. This toast already we have seen. Once again, we are stabilizing our message display information. It will stop. In this, when you are moving from one activity to another activity, it's indent changing. As indent I, this particular widget, the variable is I, whatever value you can provide, that is a block specific and it won't get any conflict. So indent I, that is equal new indent of from the main activity, first page, first activity to second activity dot class. This is the syntax for the intent. And I is a variable in which we are assigning this particular built-in function. Then using another built-in function, start activity of I. What variable you are providing, the same variable you have to provide here. These two blocks to be included in the button on click event. That's all. From one activity to another activity, it will move. From second activity to first activity, you are supposed to move in the sense, in the second activity button click event, that second activity dot this comma main activity dot class you have to specify. Only vice versa, the changes are available in this. If we are doing such and so, it will move positively. See, to create a simple app in Android Studio to show switching between activities. The logical operations of the switching between activities. If you are in the first activity, you are supposed to place two buttons for moving to second and third. If you are in the second activity, you are supposed to place two buttons to move first and third activity. If you are in the third activity, again the same two buttons are needed to move first and second activity. That's a logical operations in it. Practices. learning indent and toes concepts and switching between activities on the code. This is for beginners. I hope how many members joined today? Yeah, 28 members are available. I hope everyone are listening. Every time if I ask to say or type S, you're not responding. Okay, it's not the problem. Now I myself has to consider you are listening right now. That's all. The first activity, we can design accordingly. Yesterday, most of the people may have completed your design point of view. That's a design work you may be completed. I think so. In such a way, you take this the first activity which is created with the project, in which place a show second activity as a button and another one. These two greenish blocks are text view, they are information display in it. And the manipulation XML IDs. Now you can see in the Android Studio activity main. This for this button it is given TA. For this button it is given, this is SA, the second activity, and this is third activity TA. These two IDs are provided in which likewise you design and XML code accordingly. These are not code you are writing, while design itself everything will be changed and everything will be included. When you are coming for this background color changing and font color changing, font size increasing, these are all rest in this. We'll see for the background color. So here it is there. If you click this button, you can select appropriate background color. There are various colors are existing. Accordingly, you can change the background color of this particular text view widget. Then go down to the text text parameters attributes. See, reach here. The text color, various colors are there, in which I selected white. That's why it's showing in. Then text size. So previously it will be 14 SP. You change that into 30 SP. Only 3 more settings. The particular widget and its display will vary. Similarly, you do for this also. Place one more new widget. These two are not involving in manipulation, and these two are involving in manipulation. That's why the user specific, the particular activity specific ID, XML ID values are provided in it. Okay, this is the first design. And for the activity second XML, there is the same two buttons. Here logically from the second view, you are supposed to move to the first activity and to the third activity, not to the second activity. So accordingly, you place the button and provide the ID values. SSFA that show first activity, then show, sorry, it's in the second activity, show third activity. That's why SSTA, the name is provided in it. And this is accordingly background color is brown, maroon, and the font color is white, and size is 30 SP. Background color, text color, and text size. These are all provided here. You design this, what it is shown. Now come to this. The second activity also in the similar mode. And the XML ID is what we used. Then the code based on the design, it will show, that is copied. Move to the third activity. It's logically you have to show second and first activity, for which we are in need of two buttons. Third activity is this the information display. The background color accordingly it's given here. Color text color as the white and 30 SP as the font size we have mentioned. If these three are over, design is over, we have to make the Java coding. The same is happening. See the content indent for which the widget is included, and for button and toast and for view. These are all the declarations. And in the main doc, you can add the two variables SG, second display and third display. This is the first activity for this. We are having two buttons. For these two buttons, we must specify the widget variable for which button SG and TD. Second display and third display is the meaning. In such a way, again, they are linked with the XML IDs of the design, layout design. So you can see second display variable SD is equal to second activity. See here for this button, this is given as SCSID. The button variable SD is linked with this, and TD. This is with third activity XML ID value TA. This is linked. If these two are linked, now in the manipulation, you are supposed to provide two click events. One is for this button which variable, but this another variable. See here, st.set on click listener view, in which the first block toast for what purpose? While you are clicking this button, you are informing the user moving to second activity, and from where it is exiting the first activity and mentioning thank you. This is a text message. I'm posting these 3 lines are for the message display for the user. Then actual activity from the first activity to second activity, changing is happening within these two lines. That's the indent. Its variable I, that is equal to new indent of. The syntax is the current activity dot this. Then where you want to move the particular class, you have to specify. This is a thing. This is given in the lecture notes first page itself. The block of code is provided for your review purpose. When you are working with this multiple activity change, where the event to be triggered or initialized in such area, you are supposed to use this code. This indent is initialized. For this indent, you are supposed to declare import the content dot intent. This automatically, this IDE automatically includes this particular import when you are typing this particular area, the indent when you are typing. 31 members join. The same code logically we have to make use in the second button click also. So the second button click is to display the third activity. In such a condition, moving to third activity, exiting the first activity, then here, as per the syntax, from the main activity, first activity to, it moves to third activity class. So that's all the code. These two buttons are included in that. Whenever we are pressing this button, corresponding activity event procedure click event will be initiated, and for this button also accordingly it will be initialized. So any doubt in this stage up to now, what I asked, what I informed right now? If you are facing anything to be clarified, you can type in the chat box or respond to me. Take 3 minutes of time, because other two activities are to be followed in the same way. Is there any response? Any doubts? Okay, now go to this second activity, what we have inserted, in which the logically show the first activity and show the third activity. Now see the Java file of this same copy of code. Until and unless you are practicing once, you cannot get extracted. So here, first activity and third activity. So I define the variable name as FA and TA. FA, in which the same content copy and paste and change the logic wise information here, message. Then this is the second activity. So second activity does this too. It's moving to first activity. So use the main activity class. This is the syntax and logic. And second one, from the second activity, first is over, then you are moving to the second one. The second activity of this, for these two button events, the first parameter will be under this built-in function. The first parameter passing will be the same. And here the first page, it's moving, first activity, it moves. That's my main activity. And here it moves to third activity. So this information changes. For third activity, you are placing first and second movements button, and you have defined its specific ID in this block. Then you are writing the code accordingly. First activity and second activity as a variables, and you are linking. Then you are making use of the same code. Only two blocks of code you are using. Apart from that, if you say sit in the net and see the indent or the activities, various activities, there are n number of methods are there. Even you can practice with the help of that. Now we'll see the output of this particular app. Yeah, now activities demo. This is 3 activities demo app. You are in first activity. That's why it says show the second activity and show third activity as per the design what we made in the activity main.xml that is shown. Now I'm pressing the second activity movement. Yes, again I'm moving to the first activity. The message it appears and it's disappeared. Show third activity. It moves to the third activity in display. Come to the first activity. Go to the second one. It's now in second activity. From the second, we are moving to third. The third activity is display in this way. That's why while designing, I have used different colors in each and every activity. Here it's a green and 2 information displays available. Here it's in maroon, only 1 information display. Here I have given again green with 1 display. So identify when we are moving, switching between the activities, we must get the clarity. Comes here, it moves. Okay, now we have crossed 22 minutes of our discussion again with a sample app with only 2 activities page. I will again give the demonstration what to do. So all of you are listening actively, just to provide me the response. Those who are actively participating in the session, just take 30 seconds and provide the response to me. Good, good. Come on. Totally 31 members, 32 members are there in the session. You are energizing me in such a way. You are not wasting your time. And along with your agreeing, today evening you will sit and work on this particular work what we are discussion or what discussion we made in the class session. It's very easy once you are practicing. If you are not practicing daily for the namesake, attending the session by putting Zoom attendance, never you cannot develop your skills on this learning course, the course learning. Okay, now, very good one, Shraddha Dikshit, Anurag Sharma, Anurag Patel, Ayush, Yashika, Arora, Abhishek, Aditya Chaudhary, Tushar Sridhar, Abhinav, 10 members are in 40, just 25% of candidates are cooperating in such a sense. This will happen. And now it's your responsibility to take the device along with you to work now. Now I am taking remaining 26 minutes for our hands-on practice. In such a sense, if you are all equipped with the device, it will be very helpful to you. Only the 2 blocks of code and a single method is a new concept what we are learning. Even toast already we saw in my individual execution, it shows the message. On Zoom sharing, it's not showing. Anyway, you now work out on it and verify. See, these 2 blocks of code you are learning now. One is already we had experience, again revisiting. And new one is this particular point. A new learning method, inserting the activities on the create a new project. Now, let's start. The most new project, the activity. I hope everyone are viewing now. You can also work on it and hands-on. You listen what's happening in the Zoom sharing. Yeah, now it's display. Make use of the same widget which is available. Only one button is needed. Go to the layout, right click, new, in activity, select the empty activity, and I'm mentioning this is the second activity. Remove this two. Again, here activity second is automatically renamed using the Java. Give the finish. Now you come and see the Android manifest. Here the second activity have been included. So activity main and activity second we are having in hand right now. Come to here. Two activities demo and if it's over, there is only one button. Mute the mic. Give the ID which is involving in first activity to move FAS I'm providing. And the text to be second activity. So case, let's just set the constraints in the top, left, right. Place it here, set the bottom. Place it here, bottom and top. So you click here. Then come to this color, background color, change and font size, background. Select the color tab. Make use of this. Come to the text attribute. Text color as white, you select. Size of the text. So updated 24 SP we can provide. Somehow big, and what it shows. Layer height is changed to 19 dp. Now we are changing wrap the content. It's not the center. If you come to the text alignment attribute, text alignment. Now this is over. Show the second activity. This information. Save on. Go to the second activity. Similar way, place a button. Over, see the constraints. provide the ID for this. So first activity to a essential, then take a text view is here, then copy over in the second activity. What we may set the constraints first. Background color, use of this color. If we change the black, it won't be appropriate. Go to the text side. 24 we have given. And what happened? Go to the top, the widgets 19 dp layout with its change, wrap content, give the wrap content. So these two are right next. Such a condition, if there won't be any change. Even you want to check, you can run and check the output, how it is designed. Next step, go to the main activity. Only one button we are using. Second display is the name, place it and give Alt Enter. Second display. Immediately come to the stop. SD that is equal to so button find UPI ID or dot ID dot. Come to this. If you're having doubt, come to this and place it and find the ID FAS. It's over. Next step. Under this, the same block of code for the toast and indent you are supposed to make use. Support for the toast. Move to second exiting the first activity. Thank you. Logically, it's correct here. Next is the indent. It's the main activity. This to second activity class. It's moving. Okay. We can Save the entire files, all files. This is logically over. Second activity from here. F FD is equal to button file view by ID r dot ID dot. What's the ID we have provided that we have to check here? Oh, yes, FA. Come to this main activity, copy the same. I'm moving to first activity, exiting the second activity. At this case, from the second activity of this, it's moving to the main activity. So appropriately change it. So the code is ready. Now the hard coded text are available in our demo app. You are in the first activity. DA as a string. It's changed here. And here in this particular button widget, again a hard code text is there. Show second activity. Go to the second XML. Go to the code. Show first activity. Now it's changed. Now see the strings.xml, what you have defined, what you have given, everything are included here. Even you have completed this, the process is not over. Go to the analyze and give the inspect code, the whole project you select and give this OK. So here warnings are provided and the correctness graded dynamic version will avoid using plus in this version. So replace with specific version you give, automatically it will be corrected. Then J center, the last line you come, replace with Marvin Central. That is security, the last one, set full backup content attribute and generate descriptor, make it come to this. Next, the last one is the information J center is deprecated, suppress it. Lambda, it's a default, it's not at all an issue. Second activity also the same lambda will be there, replace it. It's button remove redundant castings. Second activity also same. Proofreading, there is no need to touch anything, leave it is. The typography errors will be there. It's not necessary to view at this point. At this stage, most probably using the built-in analysis, analyzing the code, we have did everything, save out. Once again, just check the constraints whether we have synchronized now. We have to check the constraints have been provided to all. Where is the main XML? Go to that this time. Select that, check. Now you run this. 5 numbers. 6 numbers are absent. I hope all of you listening right now.
Yes, sir.
Good. Yes, you can type in the chat box. Yeah, button is not displaying. Okay, activity demo session presentation. Okay, in such a case, what we are supposed to do in the sense, close this. It'll take 5 minutes, little extra. Good. We have to terminate. This button is not in visibility. Even we set visible here. Zoom sharing. The AVD is not functioning with a proper. Yeah, again the same issue. In such a condition, I have to stop and terminate. It's not cooperating. Leave it. Come to the development phase. You did it. What's the ID you have given? You check it. FAS. That's not the problem. You delete this particular widget. Clear the constraints. Take a new button. It's FAS. Go to the strings and verify what you have already had. Shows second activity, SSA. Now this ID value is FAS. Go to the main Java file. FAS. Save all. Go to the build. Clean the project. Again, you save the file. The previous execution task to terminate. Today, after the session is over, I'll send the project file of the 3 activities demo app. Yeah, show the second, and now the button is visible. Now we'll click and check. Yeah, you are in the second activity. Here also the button is not signed out. Is I'm in the visibility. Okay, now we will take the attendance. I will send the project file to you through mail. Up to now what you had, you keep as it is. Now give the attendance. Akash Chopra,
Yes, sir.
Anurag Sharma,
Yes, sir.
Jatin Preet Singh,
Present, sir.
Saklani,
Present, sir.
Nitesh,
Present, sir.
Prashant Bharatwaj, Vanshida Dikshit, Prashant present. Okay, Vanshida is present. Prashant Bharatwaj, absent. Then Harinder Chit, quick. Raghav Chandal,
Present, sir.
Raghav Mittal, Raghav Mittal present or absent? Raghav Mittal absent. Harinder Chit, okay. I hope you are you hearing my voice? I cannot continue further. I will take the attendance from the Zoom attendance. Okay, thank you for listening. I will send the project folder through the mail. You can disconnect. I will mark the attendance, and if any discrepancy, you send me the mail. I will change accordingly. Yeah, you can log out. Thank you for listening. I'm terminating this session. And you can post in the chat box your attendance, and you can leave. Yeah, yes, or attendance, yes, you paste in the chat box and leave. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. It's a nice idea. Yeah, quick. I'm waiting for one search. Tushar Rana, Isha Agarwal, Ayush, Anurag Sharma. Yeah. You mark it and log out. You leave the meeting. Good. Aditya Azad,